Hoyoverse has dropped an incredibly random game teaser today, so let's talk about it. My name is Juice, and let's get into it. Okay, so I've been a little busy recently. I have a lot of stuff to get done, man. It is a very busy time of year for me, gosh darn. But then my best friend forwarded me this strange trailer for a brand new Hoyoverse game that just kinda came out of nowhere. This was not on my radar whatsoever. I didn't know that this was coming up. I don't know if anybody knew that this teaser was coming up. And it seems to be a brand new Hoyoverse game. Now, I did not play Honkai Impact 3rd, nor do I really want to, so that alone would not really intrigue me. But what got me interested is that this seems to be a crossover between Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai Star Rail, as in the characters from HI3 are going to be colliding with the characters from HSR? Like, Kiana and Blade. That has to be the most random character combination I've seen in my life. What? And it seems like Blade has his own little dog thing, looks like a Zhanzhou enemy, and then Kiana has like a little butter dog. I don't know if that's a reference to anything in Honkai 3rd. Like I said, I couldn't really get past the first few chapters, but even so, this is so random. It's so out of nowhere. Now I'm definitely intrigued, but it just seems so silly to me. At least the reveal of this game to me kind of hits the nail in the coffin that Genshin really is treated as a spin-off of the Honkai series. I don't know if we can expect to see any Genshin Impact characters in this, but I'm going to assume not. It looks like this is a strictly Honkai-related thing, and yeah, I'm just kind of taken aback. It seems so odd. For me, the real thing that I'm looking forward to, just based on this short teaser alone, is that it appears as if HSR and HI3 characters are going to be interacting. Now, obviously, I'm not sure if this is going to be canon to their worlds, or what the situation is going to be. It's like, what the heck, this is such a random spin-off. I've been seeing some people say that it's going to be like Pokemon, just based on what we've seen so far. And I'll say this much, I'm a big Pokemon fan. I have been since I was about 5 years old. So, hey, if Hoyoverse makes a Pokemon game, who am I to say, let's not try it, you know? But the real intrigue for me is just seeing, like, just weird things like this. Blade and Kiana, of all characters, that has to be one of the most random crossovers on the entire planet. Or all the planets, if we want to talk about the broader Honkai Star Rail scope of things. At least to me, what I would like to see is Kevin and Finon talking. That would be funny. That would be funny. The listener and the yapper. That would be cinema, for sure. Or just seeing the Honkai Impact 3rd characters interacting with their HSR counterparts. That would also be pretty funny. Now, I really don't know what to expect at the end of the day. It was a very short teaser. We can't really say much about it. It's more just the sheer absurdity of the situation. Like, what the heck? Pokemon Honkai crossover? And I'm not against it, I think it could be fun. I'm just wondering, what are we going to be pulling for? Are we just going to be pulling for characters that have existed in HI3 and HSR? Or are we going to be pulling for their Pokemon? Or what exactly are we going to be actually rolling for? It's interesting. I'm not really sure what to expect out of it. As far as I know, they dropped this in the Honkai Star Rail concert, which is a strange place to drop it for sure. I feel like a little teaser like this kind of deserved its own YouTube short on the official channels of Star Rail or HI3, or perhaps even a little YouTube trailer, but hey, they didn't really have much to show. I suppose it makes sense that if they only really had this snippet to show off, they would only just kind of leave it at the end of something like the concert. And another interesting thing, Kiana is back. So, at least from what I know, Kiana hasn't really been XP'd in any of the two big modern Hoyoverse games. I mean, we kind of have a character that looks like Hershtra of the Void in Genshin. Basically, for those who don't know what I mean by that, the unknown god looks like an HI3 character, and then in Honkai Star Rail, I believe we don't have any Kiana XP or Kiana lookalike, nor is there one on Amphorius, which is the big HI3 sort of parallel region, so I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. So this is the first sort of modern appearance of Kiana in quite a while, which I find pretty interesting. I'm not sure she's going to be the main character. She's the first one they showed off, so I'm assuming that she's going to be, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. My personal hope is that you won't have to have played HI3 to understand whatever is going to be happening in this game. Now, don't get me wrong, I kind of know some of the basic things about HI3. I know who the characters are, or at least a handful of them. I've asked my best friend to yap to me about parts of the lore that I'm interested in, and the lore is pretty good, I'll say that much. So it's not like I'm completely zero context on it. I would still understand some things. I can understand why an interaction between Mighty and Calpus would be funny, but I don't know the deeper HI3 stuff. So I'm wondering if they're marketing this more towards HSR players or HI3 players, or if they genuinely are making this game for people who have played both of them. I'm also curious if this is almost an indirect way of them to market HI3 and try to get more people through the door to go play HI3, considering that people are going to try this because they saw Blade from Star Rail and they want to try the game that has the Star Rail characters in it, so then they might go and try, you know, the original source. They'll go and see what HI3 was all about. I mean, we'll see. My personal expectation is that this is going to be some really strange crossover world where the story is probably not going to be anything serious. I would be surprised if they came up with some, whoa, this is a really serious plot that we need to follow and we have to take over, you know, the bad guys and prevent them from destroying the world or just whatever. I doubt this is going to be some really deep lore game. I assume that it really is just going to be some lighthearted, silly, just, I don't know, Pokemon fun, or just kind of like, you know, a place for Hoyoverse to sort of put in all those interactions that people might have been curious about. I do think it's probably going to be more like fan service heavy. I'm not talking about like, you know, anime fan service. I'm talking about fan services in, oh, have you ever wondered what it would be like if Acheron talked to Raiden Mei? Well, now you can see that in the new Hoyoverse Pokemon game. Or do you want to see how Welt Yang would react to all of the HSR characters that he hasn't met yet, or meet his old HI3 companions? Well then, now you can see that in the new Pokemon game. That is one thing I will say that I'm actually quite looking forward to if they do go through with this idea in the way that I think they will. Welt has always just been the same guy. Like, the Welt that we play as in Honkai Star Rail, he's the same dude from Honkai Impact 3rd, at least as far as I know. So that means that in this world, there is only going to be one Welt. Haha, one Welt, one world, anyways. So that's pretty interesting. I really don't know how a game like this would work. I actually do find it interesting that they are possibly going to go for a more Pokemon-like angle. Like I said, I don't know if that's actually the case, that's just what I've heard, and based on the little footage that we've got, where it seems like Kiana and Blade are gonna have a battle with their animals, yeah, that seems to check out. But I'm just wondering, you know, how are they gonna execute this? And besides, Hoyoverse already has a turn-based game, so I find it interesting that they're going to go make another one. I mean, usually games like this are turn-based. I don't think that they would go and make this a live-action game. Interactions-wise, based on my vague knowledge of Honkai Impact 3rd lore and stuff like that, I think it'll be pretty fun to see mostly the Chrysos heirs talk to some of the Flame Chasers if they're gonna be around, which I don't know if they will because, well, I can't really say why, because then that's spoilers for Honkai Impact 3rd for anybody that cares, but let's just say I don't know if it's gonna be possible for people like Mighty or Phynon to even talk to the original Flame Chasers in the first place. But I will actually point something out. Honkai Impact 3rd has been getting Star Rail characters added to it. I believe they have Sparkle in that game, so this is not the first time that HI3 has been crossing over with HSR, so it could possibly be quite literally what I said, for trying to bring in some HSR players to go play Honkai 3rd. I would assume that realistically, they're probably going to treat this more as HSR with HI3 elements as opposed to the other way around, because HSR is infinitely more popular than HI3. However, considering that Kiana was like the first thing that they showed, they might not do that, but I do think that they are probably going to use Honkai Star Rail to market whatever this game is and try and push it out to people. Now, am I going to try it? Am I going to play it? Well, obviously, I can't say based on this basically 20-second teaser clip, but what I can say is that I'm at least interested to see more, and if the game looks good, then yeah, I'll try it. Now, I'm not going to go and play the entirety of Honkai Impact 3rd for it, it's just really hard to get through the first few chapters, and I don't know if this is a common issue that people have, but at least whenever I tried to play the game on my PC, my client just didn't have voice acting for some reason, and I was just too lazy to fix it, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna give up. So, here's hoping that you don't really need anything beyond surface level knowledge, though I am wondering how people that don't even have that surface level knowledge are going to take this game. Maybe they are really going to market it more for HI3, I don't know. And the final thing I kind of want to comment on, I think that Blade was a very random choice for the marketing. Like, Blade of all characters? Well, that's a little bit random. I mean, hey, people do like Blade, don't get me wrong. I think he's cool too. I think we all think that Blade looks pretty neat, but he kinda sucks. I mean, okay, the buffs might save him, but he's not exactly a character that anybody other than his, like, most dedicated simps are actively using these days, so I just think that's pretty silly. Maybe that'll be part of the appeal of the game. You can finally use Blade and he won't be bad. But yeah, I have basically no major expectations for this. I'll be looking out for the next random drop of whatever this game is, or just seeing more trailers of it and stuff. I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be cool. I'm a big Pokemon fan, so it might be interesting, but I don't know. I just hope it doesn't require too much HI3 knowledge. Now, with that being said, I will just stay tuned. Really random announcement, but Hoyoverse, you know what? I'm looking forward to it. Could be cool. We'll just have to wait and see. But what do you think about this short little teaser? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, I have a ZZZ second channel. Head on over and subscribe if you're interested in some fun, silly ZZZ content. I'd also like to mention that I stream on Twitch. I stream once a week every week on Saturday, starting from 3 PM UK time. Come along so we can play Wuthering Waves, ZZZ, and do some other fun stuff together. Hopefully this video is able to tell you what I personally think of the random trailer that Hoyoverse dropped. This has been Juice, signing out, and I guess instead of gotta catch 'em all, it's gotta pull for them all.